Oh, where am I?
Remember that outstanding amount in your phone bill?
What phone bill?
$37.45 due on September 5th last year.
But you're not my phone company. Oh.
We're a debt collection agency. Your phone company sold the bill on to us. You see, many companies like telcos and utilities, well, they'll only chase unpaid bills for so long. That's when they bring in the professionals. We buy thousands of unpaid bills for a song. Because with our, how should I say, expertise, more people are going to pay up. The first you hear about us is when you get a letter from a company you've never heard of demanding you pay them money.
I paid that bill.
Yeah, sure you did. Maybe you paid the wrong amount.
Coming!
Or maybe the bill went to the wrong address. Some people only find out they've got an unpaid debt when they go to buy a house.
That's impossible!
And suddenly find there's a little problem. Computer says no.
You know, just because you owe money doesn't mean you don't have any rights.
Who are you?
I'm Gerard Brody from the Consumer Action Law Centre. A lot of people that receive these letters from debt collection agencies think they have more power to get money out of you, but they don't. In fact, consumer regulators recommend that debt collectors shouldn't even contact you face-to-face, if they can avoid it.
All right then, but don't think this won't hurt when we call you morning, noon and night, son.
Actually, debt collectors can't contact you at night, at least after 9 p.m. Debt collectors can only contact you at reasonable hours, and then only 3 times a week.
3 times a week? Are you having a laugh?
He's right, you know. For a maximum of 10 times a month. If we hassle them more than that, they can complain to the ACCC, or even the Privacy Commissioner.
Not the Privacy Commissioner?
And it also says here we can't engage in conduct that draws people's attention to your situation.
If anyone here knows any reason why these two should not be wed today.
Hang on. He didn't pay his phone bill.
Wait, we're not allowed to do that.
Cripes.
If you do find yourself held hostage by a debt collection agency, whatever you do, don't ignore the debt.
You could end up in court, and that's where the real trouble starts. If a court makes a finding against you,
Oi!
they can even take your personal items to cover the debt. You can take part of your earnings before you even receive them. You can even be declared bankrupt. Once you add up all the fees, costs and charges, could end up owing much more than the original debt.
What you should do is ask for written proof the debt is yours if you think a mistake's been made. A debt collector should stop the collection activity until they've given you that information.
Of course, negotiating later will be much easier if you keep detailed notes describing the dates and what you've agreed. As well as saving any correspondence. You're also entitled to 1 free copy of your credit report per year. And if you have any queries, call the National Debt Hotline or visit ASIC's website.
Yeah, I'll hold.
If your debt is a home loan, personal loan, credit card or car loan, you can ask for a hardship variation if, for example, you've lost your job or are suffering from a medical condition.
I'm allergic to concrete.
If you don't get a hardship variation or you're not satisfied with the way you were treated, you can make a complaint to an industry ombudsman.
Be reasonable.
Debt collectors may seem intimidating, but if you approach them the right way, you should be able to come to an agreement.
Can I at least have some floaties?
See?